Howdy, y'all, and
Howdy.
Welcome back to Marshall Sports. Thank you so much for joining us. Today I have three special guests, Jeff and Sterling, who you met the other day, headed to Baton Rouge to see A&M get slapped by LSU. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
We're doing good. Great. I think we're just about over that game. But
LSU still scoring.
They are. They are.
Pretty much. And a new guest to the show today. We have a good friend of ours, Mr. Cory Tomchesson. Cory, how's it going, buddy?
Going pretty good. How about y'all?
Doing so good, man. Doing so good. We're super excited about this conference championship weekend coming up. We have a lot of fun games. And this video is going to be a short one because we are strictly focusing on the spreads. All four of us are going to pick some game lines, and I'm probably going to have the most correct picks. Jeff's probably going to be last. So
we'll see about that.
We will see.
I'm just saying. You've been trash in the past, so it's I just got to sweep you up, put you in the garbage.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's get right into it. I'm going to share the screen real quick, and we are going to go through these games. Okay, so starting Friday night in the Pac-12, we have Oregon and Utah facing off. Of course, Utah is playing for a chance at the college football playoffs. Utah is sitting at a 6.5-point favorite. Cory, you can go first. Who you got?
I got Utah covering.
Why?
I don't know. They just been playing really good recently. I thought Colorado would give them a pretty tough matchup last week, and it just didn't turn out like that at all, honestly.
Yeah, their defense is –
yeah, it's great. It's great. Yeah. I think if they win this game, I personally think they get in over Oklahoma in that fourth spot.
I mean, even if Oklahoma destroys Baylor?
Yeah.
All right.
That is a good point.
Yeah, Cory's got Utah. Jeff, who you taking?
Give me the Oregon 6.5.
So Jeff's hoping that Utah wins by under a touchdown, which I mean 6.5. It's always dangerous because only 7 gets it. Only 7 gets it. So Jeff's got Oregon plus 6.5. Sterling, who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, I think Utah's going to win by more than a touchdown. Actually, I really think. I mean, they're playing well. They got a really rock solid defense. I really don't buy into Justin Herbert all too much. I mean, he's had a lot of bad games. I don't think he's just inconsistent. I think that with Utah's defense is a recipe for them to win this one fairly easily. Actually, I think they're going to win by around 10 points. So.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Herbert too, because he's almost like a forgotten character. Whereas at the beginning of the season, we were like, "Oh, he's going to be the first overall pick in the NFL drafts." Like, what happened to that?
the next Trevor Lawrence, that thing, but now he's kind of, got some kryptonite. So we'll see what happens. But
all right, well, I am a Salt Lake City local, so I'm taking my Utes, boys. I think they're going to win by 7 or more. Big Kyle Whittingham fan. He's been there forever, but I see him maybe moving up to a more prestigious program. I'm taking Utah, and I also agree with Cory. I think they are going to get into the playoffs over Oklahoma, regardless of what Oklahoma does in the Big 12 championship game. So yeah, that is that. Speaking of Oklahoma, next game we got a Big 12 championship, a rematch. Baylor and Oklahoma. Of course, Oklahoma came back 25 points to steal that victory against Baylor. Cory, who you got?
This is a toss-up for me. I want to take Baylor to cover, but
9 points, man. 9 points.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one.
Flip a coin.
I was putting money on it. I feel like Jalen Hurts just comes out and they just absolutely kill him.
Yeah, I mean, after what he did.
They're trying to make a statement to get in the playoffs.
Totally. I mean, they have to. Especially while they're sitting at 6, they got to jump Utah. Utah has to play bad. Sterling, who do you think's going to win?
Yeah, I'm taking Oklahoma. I think it's going to be a closer game than people realize, but I just think, they have the talent advantage. I just don't think Baylor can quite hang with them. And then Jalen Hurts he's just on a mission. I think he's inconsistent. He's not super, he's not your prototypical passer. But I just think they're just going to overpower him. And, I'm taking Oklahoma to win by less than 9. So
yeah, man. I mean, I don't blame you. I feel like there's quite the talent gap. Of course, Baylor has been able to take advantage of the guys that they have.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma, I mean, just there's a lot of talent, a lot of strength there. So can't argue with that. Jeff, who you got?
Give me Baylor +9. There ain't no way Oklahoma's going to do it twice.
I completely agree with you. I was looking at this line, and I was just thinking, even though Baylor blew that 25-point lead, I don't think this game is won by over a touchdown. Give me Baylor and the points. We're going to move down to the SEC championship game. This one has the most implications to it. Of course, if Georgia loses, they're out for sure. But if Georgia wins, is LSU out, or do they somehow get to stay in? That'd be a huge shakeup.
Yeah, that is it's a big debate. I mean, it'll be cool to see how it shakes out. But
LSU, no matter what, if they lose, they're
-7. Oh, gotcha. You think so?
Yeah, they're still in if they lose.
No question.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they slip in. I think they probably switch spots, or maybe Georgia goes to 3 and LSU goes to 4 if Georgia happens to pull it out. But on this note, we're moving to the spread. Jeff, who you got on the spread?
Give me LSU -7.5.
Cory?
Yeah, I agree with you. That offense is just something else.
Sterling?
Yeah, I'm picking LSU to win, but I think it's going to be less than 7.5. I just think it's a classical case of, an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. But I think LSU is going to get the better of that matchup. I think LSU's offense versus Georgia's defense is a better matchup than Georgia's offense, which has been wildly inconsistent against LSU's defense. So I think it'll be a close game, still. I mean, they're going to be coming out swinging. Kirby Smart's a really fiery coach. He gets his guys ready. So it'll be a close game, but I think LSU will be a little too much to handle. So
for sure. You got a point. When I first saw the line, I was thinking it was going to be somewhere around 10 to 11 to maybe even 14.
Yeah.
But 7.5, the way the way LSU has scored this year, and Georgia, like you said, has been extremely inconsistent on the offensive side of the ball.
Yes.
I just don't see how Georgia keeps up. I think it's maybe close for a half or maybe through the third quarter, but I think LSU and Joe Burrow, they're going to run away with it. Give me LSU -7.5. All right, so this is an interesting one because it's a conference championship game. We know Clemson's going to win, but the line is sitting at Clemson -28.5. Cory, what do you think?
I think Virginia can cover this. what does Clemson really have to play for? They're going to win this game. It doesn't really matter. They're already a shoe-in into the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're not going to lose this game
for sure.
I don't think they're going to come out and just they're not going to be super hyped up to want to just go out there and kill them.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think they're going to play conservatively, knowing that they're comfortably in the number 3 spot and they're going to be there as long as they win. But personally, I think Virginia can cover as well. 28.5 points. Virginia is going to come out firing. I think they can keep it close maybe through the first half. But then again, this is coming from the same guy who took South Carolina plus 28.5 last week against Clemson, and that backfired on me. So, but give me Virginia. I'm holding on to hope here. I think they get it done. I think they lose by three touchdowns. Jeff, who you got?
I think definitely you didn't learn your lesson last week.
I never do.
I think the person beside me didn't learn his lesson last week. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to show y'all both that the Clemson is going to show Virginia how powerful they are, and they are going to win by 5 touchdowns and definitely take that spread at -28.5.
Yep, and that was how I lost last week. Clemson ended up winning by 35, and it was a last-second touchdown that put him over. So you're saying same thing might happen this week. This is going to be a fun one to watch since we all pretty much disagree. But Sterling, who you got?
Colin, to quote Stephen A. Smith, I think you and Cory are being so disrespectful to Clemson.
Whatever.
I see him. I mean, you look at Dabo's rhetoric, and it's been, him against the world, them against the world. I think Clemson comes out just pissed off to prove a point that they are one of the best teams in college football. I think they're going to absolutely trounce Virginia, not only for pride but also for seeding. I mean, I think they realistically think they can get that 2 seed if they absolutely beat the pulp out of Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just go all out. I mean, the way he's motivating them. So
for sure,
I'm picking them to definitely win by about 5-6 touchdowns too. So.
Yeah, I've seen the press conferences with Dabo. You can definitely tell he feels disrespected. I'm sure the team feels that way as well. It's just a matter of, can Virginia come out and play, or just be absolutely manhandled? And
well, their quarterback is a dynamic kid. I forget his name, but
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, so they can score points, but I just think which that could keep it close. But I think overall there's just too much talent. They're pissed off, and I think they run away with this one.
I'm sure there's a lot of tickets still available for the ACC championship.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, we're pretty split right there down the middle. Me and Cory, we got Virginia plus 20.5. You guys got Clemson, so we'll definitely keep an eye on that one. Should be fun. All right, the last pick of the video, we got the Big Ten championship game. Wisconsin, Ohio State. Ohio State sitting at a 16.5-point favorite. Jeff, who you got? This is tough. This is a tough one.
This is a tough one.
I don't know how to pick this one.
Line's pretty weird.
This is a weird one. I see a lot of the money going towards Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the line finishing at 16.5. Possibly finishing around 17. Probably not going towards 17.5. Probably finish at 17, maybe 17.5 around there. But I got to take Ohio State. It's hard to go against them the way they've been, doing it all season.
No doubt.
And, Wisconsin, the way they did against Illinois that one game this season, Illinois, and I don't know. It's hard to go against them. So
for sure. All right, Jeff's got Ohio State minus 16.5. Cory, do you disagree or agree?
I agree. Justin Fields, J.K. Dobbins are just too much.
Yeah.
What he run for, like 4 or 5 touchdowns on Michigan or something last week? That's supposed to be a good defense.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, yeah. Sterling, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Wisconsin to cover this one. Yeah, I honestly think, with their running game, they have a good defense. They always seem to play inspired football. I know the talent gap is just massive between the two teams, and Ohio State's definitely going to be playing for the number 1 seed, right, to keep it.
Yes.
But, I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be a big part of this game. I expect them to run him, 20, 30 times, control the clock, and make it a low-scoring game. I think Ohio State's going to win, but I think Wisconsin can slow it down and play good defense and, play the running game to keep it closer than people realize. So
okay. Well, Sterling, I will have to tell you that you are completely on your own, because this entire year I have seen these double-digit Ohio State as a favorite, and every time I think, oh man, in a big game, that's a lot of points for the team. And I've been proven wrong week after week, and I'm not going to be proven wrong again. Ohio State's going to run away with this one. I think they blow them out by 3 or 4 touchdowns. So I'm taking Ohio State. Any other games you guys want to talk about? Any messages?
A game that you skipped over, and a game that I actually am really interested this weekend, is Cincinnati and Memphis.
On to Cincinnati.
It's a really game,
There it is.
It's a really big game because, it's deciding who gets one of those Power 5.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Well, and also Cincinnati did beat the defending or the 2017 national champions UCF. So, you're talking about an absolute –
oh, my God.
You're talking about a powerhouse.
I was like, what are you talking about? Sterling, are you about to say something stupid?
This one's kind of
just an underhand shot at UCF. But
what were you saying, Cory?
This one's kind of a weird one because they played each other last week.
Who won?
Pretty sure
Memphis,
Memphis
I assume, right?
won by a touchdown or 10 points, something like that. I can't.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly have nothing to say about this game just because I haven't really followed these teams. But it is going to be – it's always cool watching the non-Power 5 and one of the New Year's Six Bowls. So I guess what I've heard is that Cincinnati has kind of struggled this year. So I would have to say that Memphis is probably going to cover from what I know. Sterling, you got any coin flip on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Memphis to cover. I mean, I think they're a better team.
For sure.
I think Cincinnati definitely has the best tweet of the year when they beat UCF. Look it up if you guys know what I'm talking about. It's pretty funny. But, yeah, I think Memphis is going to cover this one.
All right. Well, it looks like we all agree on that.
No. We're not all agreeing here.
Oh, my bad. I must have skipped over. Ooh.
Against the grain.
Agreeing here.
I was too scared to hear what you'd say. I didn't want to lose.
Agreeing here. Agreeing. Not only should you not take this point spread, you should take Cincinnati straight up.
Oh, why is that?
Plus 270. Cincinnati, they took that one loss beginning of the season to Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And they've played, very great, great the whole season. And they've looked impressive. And I just see them, coming out, strong and wanting to get this big win. And I see it happening.
All right.
And,
Jeff always tends to go on his own and do whatever he feels. So I guess I'm going to have to trust him on that one. Well, now that we're done with the conference games, making our picks, I wanted to talk about something because we didn't on the last video. How about them Houston Texans?
Dude, that's I think it's probably one of the most impressive regular season wins in franchise history. I mean, just
biggest. I mean, it's the biggest.
Yeah, probably the biggest. I mean, an optics standpoint. I mean, you beat the Patriots. It's like, man, like you feel like if they can just keep it together and keep Deshaun upright and healthy, they can beat pretty much any team in the AFC and the NFL. Really. Yeah.
Corey, what was your comment?
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, I thought you were.
I'm going after Sterling's. I don't know about the Ravens though.
Yes, until. I mean the
one team.
The Patriots don't look like the Patriots.
No.
The Patriots win is impressive, but Tom Brady, without Gronk, they don't have to double team him anymore. They're allowed to double team Julian Edelman, and the other guys that they used to, don't look as great. Rex Burkhead, didn't look that great. The other guys just didn't look like, the normal guys that you see, like the seventh rounders, the undrafted free agents that, come out of nowhere and seem to just be great. But I mean, it is a great win. The Texans, it's a great win for their franchise, but just right now, the Ravens on top. It just it seems
it's them and everyone else.
It's them and everybody else. It just, man, they're a powerhouse, and it's hard to see anybody stopping them.
That's true. I think if the Ravens can keep that home field advantage, I don't see anybody beating them because you got to keep your quarterback upright to beat them, and they are just ferocious. So.
I agree. I mean, what Lamar Jackson is doing this year is unbelievable. He's going to win the MVP. It's not even going to be close. Going back to that Texans game, I want to be extremely excited and this is the greatest win in Texans history. But if you look at the stat lines and what happened, the Patriots pretty much outplayed us other than those few errors that they made that gave us the upper hand. So, of course, everyone, all us Houstonians, we want to be pumped about this. But ultimately, I still think that on a regular day, they would have beat us. But a win is a win, right? Against the Patriots, they're 10-2 or whatever now. So we'll take it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I think, we're easily going to take the division now. And can we beat them in the playoffs is the big thing.
Well, I think for the big thing one more thing I want to touch on is that, if anything, it's a psychological win, right? So you beat them. It may not be as impressive, like you said, when you look at the stats, right? But just knowing you beat the Patriots can kind of plant that seed of, hey, we can do this, right? So that's the biggest thing I think I took away from the win. So
another thing too, Imagine the Patriots from the beginning of the year when they not only had Josh Gordon but Antonio Brown.
Oh my gosh.
Because Julian Edelman is playing the number one wide receiver right now.
Yeah.
And that's not what he is built to be. And Mohamed Sanu looked horrible.
Oh, he looks, yeah. He did not look.
Just imagine that team with a wide receiver core.
They'd be, yeah. That'd be a scary team.
You mean 1 year without the Patriots having a wide receiver core?
Yeah, it'd be good for the rest of the league, but I'm just like, I'm trying not to get too excited about that victory, even though it's an incredible victory, and we've only beaten the Patriots once in 2010 out of like 10 times. But at the same time, I looked at the stats, looked at everything, and it didn't look that good on paper. But like I said, a win is a win, and we're going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I appreciate you guys for coming on. We will follow up either Saturday night, Sunday, or maybe on Monday, follow up to talk about what happened in the conference championship games. Until then, you can check out some other videos that we've made in the past few weeks. You can follow us on Instagram at @MarshallSports_. We usually post some updates if we have a new video. We'll let you guys know there. But until then, we will see you guys next time.
All right, man.
Thanks for coming on, guys. Appreciate it.
Pleasure as always.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. See ya.
See you guys.